Hello there. Once again, it is time to take another revealing peek back into history.
What famous date shall I set it to today?
Once again, it's time for Throwback Thursday. A second chance to look at some truly awful podcasts. No, wait. A second chance to see how far Vicis Interimo has come over the last 8 years. New episodes will be released pretty much weekly, but Thursdays I've reserved for throwbacks to see how far we've come. A lot of the information on here no longer applies, whether that be businesses or links that may not work anymore, so be advised of that. But again, I want to thank the patrons that we have at this time, though they may not have been here the first time these episodes were recorded. I am thanking them again because they're helping us move forward with our new episodes. And those are patrons such as At Lonely Bob, Big Al V, and Goldafish. In the meantime, I hope that you enjoy what you hear.
You know, I liked it better than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think you liked it better than I did.
Yeah.
It's definitely a teenage girl flick, though.
Wait. That's
cute boys, cute girls, little romance, you know.
Okay, wow. My man card has just been totally ripped up, I think. Welcome to Vicis Interimo, Time to Kill. I am your host, Michael Mad Saxon Jones, with my lovely wife, Lori. Say hello, Lori.
Hello.
Are you excited about today's podcast?
Sure.
Not very convincing. But here we are, episode 102. We're a little further into the new year than I planned on being before we did another podcast. But, well, me being sick, the holidays, and it's just picking
Excuses.
That's right.
People don't care about that.
They don't.
Well, we skipped a week. We skipped last week because last week was New Year's weekend.
Well, yeah, and I was
we skipped
sick.
it, and it's the 8th today, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so here's the movies we're going to talk about today. Mirrors 2, but before that, we're going to talk about Paranormal Activity 2.
This person says the movie is just as excellent as the first, but they gave it 1 star. I don't think they understood the assignment.
Was that an attempt at irony? Are they saying it's just as good as the first one, and the first one was worth 1 star?
No. No, they said they'd definitely watch it again.
Wow, okay, then yeah, they didn't understand. 1 doesn't always stand for 1.
They thought it was number 1.
Somebody shows you 1 finger, they're not necessarily telling you you're number 1. And we've got a tremendously huge garbage in, garbage out segment. But before we get on to all of that, we actually had a comment for a Lay to Rest. So we're going to read that and be sure to include some music from Cockfight Club.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we'll be back to do our Lay to Rest in a moment.
Okay, sorry.
You got to work on your timing. You got to say no. It's okay to tell me no.
Sorry.
No, I'm not ready. Shut up. Be quiet. You can do that.
Well, shut up for a second.
Shut up.
Because you always just spring things on me when you're like, oh, and I have something I'm going to read from a list. I never have any idea what you're ever talking about. I know. It makes it more exciting, doesn't it? No, because I'm like, yeah, and I always sound all half-hearted and lame because I don't know what you're talking about. If you would have told me ahead of time, you know. Okay. But anyway, what did you have to say? I've got nothing. I'm just speechless. All right, we're going to come back from our musical interlude. Ready? Oh, no, you're taping right now? Yes, I've been taping this whole time. Oh. You know this. This isn't going in the podcast, though. Okay, thank you. That's good. All right, go ahead. Just give me my mission, and I'm ready to run.
So for Laid to Rest, we did have a comment from Ken Calloway from Cockfight Club. He said the right was so disappointingly awful, but Sunshine was considerably better. He loves American Horror Story, though he's not sure how he feels about the Beetlejuice ending. I get what you're saying about that. I don't think that was necessarily meant to be the ending, but if it has to be, that's okay. But if it's picked up for another season, I'm sure there's plenty of stories to explore and places to go with that. So I do hope they get picked up for another season and keep going with it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because, I see what he's talking about, because it was kind of, warm, fuzzy, family, everyone's all happy, and it's Christmas, they're decorating the tree.
That was just that one family that was happy. There was a lot of unhappy families still there, too.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But, it was kind of funky, but I was like, all right, well, that was kind of different. I don't know. I thought it would end with some kind of crazy, dark cliffhanger thing,
Right.
But, that was kind of interesting, and it was warm, fuzzy Beetlejuice. But you do see, of course, a couple spirits outside the window plotting their next move. So, it's not going to last.
Yeah. And also with regards to the right, I do know that, luckily the people that I work with at this time are also movie fans. And so another coworker had seen The Right and was quite impressed with it and really enjoyed it. So,
really,
and
with Ken, it was disappointing.
I had higher hopes for it, but we need to check out The Devil Inside. It just came out this weekend.
Okay, shifting gears.
Well, just shifting gears along the same line, possession and so on. I know a lot of people were looking at that, and it did outperform Ghost Protocol this week.
Well, and I think with the right, as far as that went, I think we agreed that maybe there's a director's cut R-rated version out there. Maybe it's a little more intense or has whatever feels like it's missing.
Right.
Because it is PG-13, so it was a little watered down. That was what I thought was maybe its problem, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It has multiple problems.
Okay, well,
it had a good start though. There were things I liked about it because I didn't totally hate it when we talked about it.
Yeah.
But it certainly could have been a whole lot better, and I did have higher expectations.
Right. Well, speaking of high or low,
Sunshine was awesome. Okay, sorry.
High or low expectations. I'm not sure which we had going into Paranormal Activity too, but
and we didn't. Sunshine was a recommend from Horophilia Jason.
Well, you had it on your list.
What?
You had it.
It was on my long list of Cillian Murphy movies. But Sunshine was pretty far down because I'm watching oldest movies first, and Sunshine was fairly new. So, I wanted to thank Jason for recommending it, and I went in my list and I bumped it to the top, and we watched it, and it was quite good. So anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was just getting ready to move on to our review of Paranormal Activity 2.
Okay. We're sure bouncing around,
aren't we?
I thought we were doing Mirrors 2.
We are doing Mirrors 2 also.
Okay. You want to do Paranormal Activity first?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 first.
All right.
Brother. Okay.
You can hear our show, Vicis Interimo, on Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher allows you to listen to your favorite shows directly from your iPhone, Android phone, BlackBerry, or Palm phones, on demand and on the go. If you don't have Stitcher, you can download it for free at Stitcher.com or in the App Store. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to the radio.
I come from a place that's quite far away.
Well, come on, let's go.
So Paranormal Activity 2. What's the synopsis of it?
Well, let's see. First of all, it's from 2010. Huh. Yeah, I guess it was. Rated R, 91 minutes. Doors slamming shut, shadows moving across the floor. The unexplained, terrifyingly real supernatural forces are back. And this time, Dan, Kristi, Allie, baby Hunter, and dog Abby become part of the nightmare as the cameras roll. Tod Williams, I guess he did the door and the floor, directs, and Michael R. Perry from Persons Unknown writes this spine-chilling sequel to the wildly popular 2009 flick. It's not quite a sequel, though, is it?
Not quite. More of a prequel.
It's happening at the same. It's happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, in the technical, okay, it was a sequel that came after, but yeah, story-wise, this story was happening at the same time.
Right.
Or they overlap.
They overlap. That's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Right off the bat, what did you think about this one?
So much better than the first one.
So very much better, and has me excited for the next one.
Yes.
I know the third one's out there and stuff. We'll do that soon.
Yeah. The first one was frickin' awful. I hated it. I know you liked it better than I did, but it was so lame. I could not stand it.
I liked elements of it, and this time they got it right. Not that it was even necessarily the same story, but this was it addressed a lot of the issues that we had with the first one. This was a more likable family.
Well, they weren't completely stupid like the first people. Sadly, those first stupid people appear in this one, and their acting is just as bad as it was in the first movie.
Okay. Yeah. But, and this is actually a question I asked you afterwards, which was, was Paranormal Activity 2 better because we had seen 1 and had something to compare it to? And the fact is, no, I think this is absolutely standalone. If you heard the reviews from other people that didn't like Paranormal Activity, this would be a great one to start with. Because there's really no need to go back and see the first one.
And don't let the first one keep you from, because after the first one, I was like, oh, that was pretty stinky. I don't want to waste my time anymore with these things. But when Paranormal Activity 2 came out, I kept hearing the same thing over and over. Everyone kept saying, oh, no, give this one a chance. It's so much better than the first one. So, yeah, don't let the first one scare you away from seeing this one.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the first one, it's okay.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? I almost want to say see this one first. But then that other one would really be disappointing. Because you don't really the stories do go together because the characters from the first one appear in this one, like we just said. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about getting a movie camera themselves. And so they've got their own problems going on over at their house while these people are having their troubles. So the stories do align. But, it's not totally necessary. But
no, it isn't necessary.
But it might be fun to watch them both together. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on whether you have an evening to kill or, how much.
Maybe like if you watched them back to back, that might be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just understanding the first one's a little, if you could get past the people, because they were such ding-dongs, and the whole, when people are in a traumatic situation and you're really going to film everything every second, and even this one had a couple moments where I was like, wow, really? With the big, I don't want to talk about the big ending or the, big crescendo there, but, there's a child's life possibly at stake here, and the dad is struggling. There's something going on. I don't really want to say, but there's struggle and there's chaos, and the dad is still, worried about the camera and worried about filming everything. In all reality, I'm sorry, that wouldn't be happening. You'd be going after your child.
Right. Well,
so it's at those moments that I'm reminded, oh yeah, well, this is just a movie and they have to do this. But other than that, though, what I really liked about this one was that they thought their house had been robbed and they installed cameras in all the rooms.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So they weren't like these goofy people running around day and night with their, hey, I have my camera. Hey, what are you doing? And they're happening to get footage. I liked that there were just still cameras all around the house. And every night it would show, what happened in each camera. Like, it was much more believable. It was much more realistic.
Yeah, that's one of my first notes here on the paper, is using technology to their advantage. And whether that was a conscious decision because of the pitfalls of the first movie.
Right.
Or not, it really made for a better, more entertaining story. And what did you feel about the scenes in general? Was there anything really scary in there for you? Well, I'll just say that there were
you go ahead.
definitely two scenes, and I guess I don't want to talk about them because I don't want to ruin them for everybody else, but there were definitely two scenes.
We don't have to say exactly who the character was or what exactly.
Well, there's one involving a staircase, and there's another one with just with a person sleeping on a couch.
Yeah.
And there was.
Well, I think all of the moments where the supernatural activity is actually occurring, I mean, they did a really good job with it, and I think they were all a little bit chilling, Yeah.
And I think I also have the note that I find myself doing nervous stuff to fill the dead time. This is another movie that's not a nonstop, thrill a minute type action thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, I noticed myself doing things, and it's like, wow, I'm a little on edge here, despite nothing happening on screen. I've got this anticipation, and I mean, we talk about we enjoy the story, and the stories that involve us are the ones we like the best. Yeah. I felt involved on that level where I was nervous for what was going to happen, and I thought it was a good job of conveying that. So,
right. Yeah, I agree, because it would show each evening. It would show the camera out by the pool for a few seconds, or maybe sometimes even 20, 30 seconds. And then it would shift to inside the staircase, and then it would show inside, the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And it would show in the baby's room. And like each one of those, you're like, oh, is something going to happen here? I don't know. And it wouldn't always.
No, it wouldn't always. So, that was something too that was.
Sometimes it was like all is well in Happy Land, nothing to see here, and it was just. But it moved. It moved better than the other movie. Like, it had me going each frame, each time a camera popped on and showed a different part of the house. Like, it had really good flow for me. I was, you look around the room and you're like, something's gonna move or something's gonna, and it may or may not, and then it would go to the next part. So. Kind of had me going.
Yeah.
Like, the movie could have been a lot longer, and I would have continued watching it. I wasn't like, okay, is this thing done yet? Or,
right.
It had me enough where I was interested, and I would have just kept on watching it, however long it was.
Okay. Well, what would you give this for a number?
I would probably give this one about an 8.
Wow. Okay. I was going to say I have a 7 written down. But it's a solid 7 with a pretty high recommend, Yeah. If you like stories of the supernatural, and you don't need to see the first one in this case. This is one of the few times that being the completionist that I am, I always want to say, oh, we'll see all of them no matter how bad they are. But this is one that you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have.
Right.
I would feel comfortable saying, hey, you don't like the first one, you're not interested, don't see it. Just go in with the second one and you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I said, looking forward to the third one now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, unless you had anything else, let's move on and talk about Mirrors 2.
Okay, that's it for me.
All right.
Wow, this person said it's the worst movie they've ever seen, and it's boring. No good special effects. Low budget. People find this scary.
For Paranormal Activity?
Yeah, for the number 2 that we're talking about.
Wow.
They said the baby constantly crying is boring and annoying. It happens over and over again. Where are they? Were they drinking? Or did they, I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes
they weren't paying attention.
They missed the point, maybe. I don't know.
Family walking around living a boring family life. Yeah. And then the woman has blood on her leg? What?
Well.
Sorry.
All right.
I was intrigued.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I could cut all that out.
I will. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mirrors 2 came out, did it go straight to video in 2010? Video. Still video. DVD.
You're old.
Whatever. I'm old. Mirrors 2, tell me about that.
Well, let's see. This one was from 2010 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it says it's unrated. I guess because I don't know, went straight to DVD. Didn't have to hit the theater. Thank you for sparing theater audiences everywhere. 90 minutes too long.
Oh.
Okay. In this
You've given it away. The mystery's gone.
Did I say that out loud?
Go ahead.
In this sequel to the horror thriller Mirrors, a security guard, played by Nick Stahl, working the night shift, unwittingly discovers a portal to another dimension and starts having visions of a young woman who was murdered long ago. Actually, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
Not so long ago.
Not so much. At first, he assumes what he's seeing is a figment of his own imagination, but when the vengeful girl's spirit begins claiming innocent victims, he's got concrete reasons to fear for his life.
I've got a few things to say, mainly about that that synopsis, but we won't go there. This was bad.
It was bad.
It was shockingly disappointing for me.
Yes.
You know, I like Nick Stahl.
Yeah.
I like him as an actor, and this movie also had William Catt in it, but I've got to say, even the greatest American hero couldn't save this movie.
You won't like what I have to say, so I'm holding my tongue.
When I was watching this, I love William Catt. You know, I love him. I like him in various things for various reasons and whatever. But I was looking forward to seeing him in this, and he was just chewing up the scenery, man, when he was in those scenes.
Yeah.
You know, I had to. You know, I took it then as him caring for his son, being deeply concerned for, this is a story that was weak and...
You want to say what the story is about? Because that really didn't really give much. I mean, just the main
character, when Maxie's recovering from a traumatic accident, he takes this night job as a security guard, much like in Mirrors 1. And
recovering from a traumatic accident?
His wife dying?
No.
No?
Wow, this movie was so bad you don't even remember the poor kid's story. See, and that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all. He basically was out with his girlfriend on a rainy night, driving out.
I guess it was a girlfriend, not wife, yeah.
Yeah, girlfriend.
Okay.
And this was... so ridiculous because...
Oh, geez. Yeah.
I'm just going to say, I don't recommend anybody sees this. This is a really crappy movie.
Okay.
So, spoiler alert, here we go. But it's his fault. The accident's his fault, and she dies in a car accident. But he wants to propose to her, and I guess he feels that a really scary highway drive in the pouring down rain and storm is the perfect setting.
Oh, how romantic.
How romantic. So why don't you take your seatbelt off and climb in the back seat and get me my backpack? Oh, there's something in the backpack I'd like you to get for me. So she's back there digging around. Oh, a ring. Really? Thanks for proposing to me like that. So she's out of her seatbelt, climbing around in the car, finds the ring. They're all happy. He's turning around, smiling happy. Accident, death, blood, death.
Horror, yeah.
Horror, no more happiness. So here's this guy. He's basically killed his fiancée that he had for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, not, yeah.
So terrible. And I was like, what is that all? That was just... The situation was kind of ridiculous, but I guess not everybody is smart.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't. I mean, the situation was just ludicrous to me. Like, whoever wrote that scene, it's like, it was a scary drive. And I remember she was like, oh, now be careful with your driving. And, oh, no, I'm a good driver. And so it was obvious, like, that was not a good time.
Yeah.
Not a good time.
Well,
oh, gosh.
What?
It's ridiculous. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to go on to say that what I was saying that I like Nick Stahl. I liked him in other things that he's done. Carnival, loved it. Loved him as Ben Hawkins. Enjoyed him in Sin City. And
there was nothing wrong with him. It was like good actor stuck in a freaking horrible film.
Yeah. Definitely. So, this is definitely a pass. I don't know. Do we say anything more about it except to avoid it?
Well, I think there was quite a few people that thought the first Mirrors was pretty good or okay at least.
Mm-hmm.
This one had absolutely nothing to do with it. The first Mirrors took place in New York in a mall that had burned out rather, but we knew.
Store.
But it used to be a mental hospital where they were doing terrible things to people. So there was that more. And the mirrors in the first movie, there were demons living behind the mirror, like it was something more sinister.
Right.
This one, however, the only thing that was from the first movie was that a piece of mirror from that original building in New York was taken down to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it Florida?
No, it wasn't Florida. It was Louisiana, wasn't it? Because they were in the Big Easy.
You know what? We've seen a couple movies lately that took place in both those locations. So, yeah, I don't know. But anywhere, it's not. It's not in New York. It's down south somewhere. Not that Louisiana and Florida are anything alike, but one of those locations. So they reopen this mall down there, and they just have this one little piece of mirror from the old mall.
The old department store.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, they brought a bit of the mirror. The demons are going to have access now to this area, whatever. But there were no demons. There was nothing sinister like that going on at all.
Yeah, it turns out to be more of a relatively straightforward ghost story.
Yeah.
I guess is what I want to call it.
Yeah. And again, spoiler alert, but honestly, please, people, don't waste your time with this one.
Right.
But yeah, a girl is murdered. We won't say what happened in case because it's a little mystery. You know, he does meet the person who murders this girl, and you don't know who it is. So there's a little bit of a, mystery going on. You don't find out until the end what actually happened. But this murdered girl, her spirit is captured in the mirror because she dies close to the mirror, and the mirror captures her spirit. So it's just a straightforward ghost wanting vengeance.
Yeah.
Story.
And it's the Mayflower department store in New Orleans. That's what it was.
It was. Which movie did we just see that took place in Florida?
I'm not sure.
We watched so many movies this week.
Well, if we'll cover those in our garbage in, garbage out. We'll probably
find it. Yeah, when we're digging through our garbage in, garbage out, we're going to find our Florida movie.
Right.
And then the other thing about this one was I feel they put a lot of money, I think, into the gore scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And at the first probably half of the movie, I thought, oh my gosh, this is it's like a lame little story, and it's just a vehicle for showing these gore scenes. I feel like that's where they put their attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you thought they were well done or not, but they were kind of gross.
Well, I did. That was my comment. The only redeeming thing, or the only thing that I would say worth seeing in this was some of the special effects, and it's hard for me to recommend, you watch a movie just to see some special effects scenes because maybe they're not going to be cool to you at all. There were some scenes, though, with the mirrors, I'm just going to say with the mirrors cracking and you see what happens inside the mirror or on the other side of the mirror.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's obviously clearly CG stuff, but I thought it was a cool effect.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. When it showed with the girl who had died.
Mm-hmm.
And she's on the other side of the glass, but it almost looks like she's encased in ice.
Yeah.
Because the air or the space around her is cracking, like as if you put an ice cube on, out on the table on a warm day and it starts to kind of crack, and as it melts, it kind of looked like that to me. But that was kind of cool.
Right. But that was it. There wasn't any other thing really redeeming to back that up, I don't think.
Yeah, it was very slow to me. It was quite boring. I lost interest. I found it very easy to get up and walk away. Like if I wanted to go get a snack or something, I could absolutely take my eyes off it and walk away and come back.
Well, two things.
But it was a lot of time. After the gore, like the first part, I was like, oh my God, it's like Final Destination. They're just killing off each one of these people in an interesting way.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the killing kind of stopped, and it got more into the story. I don't know why I think of him as being a boy.
You're still seeing him as Ben Hawking there in Hall.
Yeah, I guess so. But as he's digging into the story and trying to find out what's going on, and he's talking to people, like, it got a little dragged out. So I could have done without that. I could also do without the phone ringing.
For sure.
Yeah, okay, I'll be right back. What?
I have to edit all that.
Oh, you don't want my entire conversation in there?
Probably not.
They just came home, and that Siamese cat was back there sitting next to the cat cage with the other 3 cats in it, and the cat was just sitting there. Yeah, that thing's got to go. Dad tried to take it over the wall, but he missed.
That's nice. Well, let's get back to Mirrors 2. Anything else that you have to say in conclusion about it, other than don't see it? Except for special effects, if you're a special effects. But what I was going to say was this is rated R.
It is?
It is rated R.
It says not rated, but, well, it would...
The one that we saw would have been R rated.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
right. Yeah. And I don't think...
Because the gore is pretty heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you'll have to like entrails and cut throats and decapitated heads and
stuff. Speaking of entrails, let's get into our garbage in, garbage out. Okay. Best line ever, machete don't text.
That is the best line ever.
All right.
Lori don't text either. I feel machete.
If you've got 30 minutes to kill, let us help. Vicis Interimo. Horror movie reviews and more. Check us out. That's vicisinterimo.podomatic.com.
Cynthia, so glad you're home. I have some very exciting news.
Well, I have some news for you too, Jonathan.
Me first. I've just discovered a great podcast called Mail Order Zombie, and it's hosted by a married couple just like us.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I had a meeting with the lawyer today, and...
It's mainly about direct-to-DVD zombie movies, but the show covers a whole range of zombie culture. Games, books, plays, comics, you name it.
Well, as you know, I've been spending a lot of time with my massage therapist, Rodrigo.
Is he into post-apocalyptic novels, films, and TV shows? Because if he is, you should let him know that those things are all covered on Mail Order Zombie too.
I have taken the liberty of putting your belongings in these garbage bags over here.
Hope you remember to pack my MP3 player, because I'd sure hate to miss the next episode of Mail Order Zombie. You can find it online at mailorderzombie.com, or just look for Mail Order Zombie in the iTunes store, and it's all free.
Yes, free. Like I hope to be very soon.
So what is it you wanted to say to me, Cynthia?
You're an idiot.
Oh, I love you too.
So, garbage in, garbage out. We have a ton of different movies to talk about.
Ton.
We obviously brought up Machete. Really enjoyed that movie for what it was. Check your brain at the door kind of...
you think?
Romp. Grindhouse style. Yeah, Robert Rodriguez. What did you think of it?
Well, it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun stuff. Yeah, and...
a lot of good people in it.
Definitely. Tremendous ensemble cast there with Danny Trejo as Machete.
I'm so happy he finally got a big part in something. I was so tired of seeing him in little tiny parts.
Yeah.
It's because it was always like, for years it was, there's that guy. Like, he's so great, but he always just plays some thug in the background or some guy that gets shot and it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of him so bad, so...
Good, fun stuff. Definitely R-rated. Definitely.
Oh yeah, you can. I would recommend it to people who like this sort of film. Otherwise,
there's
not for everybody.
I would comment on the inappropriate cell phone placement, but there are various scenes that would be considered somewhat mature content. So yeah, definitely an R rating. We'll call it a hard R rating, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well, like I said, the people I would recommend it to already know what to expect, and nothing would surprise them in it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I certainly wouldn't. I couldn't think of anyone, in my family or anything that would enjoy it. But,
probably not.
No.
Family fun. Let's talk about TV movies type stuff. What did you think of Bag of Bones? That was finally got around to watching that.
Yeah, was that in Florida?
Yeah.
Was it?
Was it? I don't know.
I don't know, because I know Machete wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Somebody was in Florida. It might have been.
It might have been. Here's my thing. I was hoping for...
I didn't care for it. I'm just going to answer your question real fast.
Okay, thanks.
There you go.
Great. Didn't care for it. I was disappointed, but I didn't care for the book. I was hoping for a better... I was hoping for one of those movies that was translated from... Let's try that again. I was hoping for a translation that improved on the book.
Right, because you said the book was not great.
For me, it wasn't. And so...
Well, and usually it's the other way around. Usually it's like, wow, really great book, cool. They made it into a, made-for-TV movie or a movie for the theater. Yeah. And a lot of times it's like, oh, no, they didn't do a very good job.
But yeah, actually that takes place in Maine because it was TR 90.
Of course, duh. Yeah, it wouldn't be anywhere other than Maine, would it?
Probably not. Though, let me see. There was another one that Stephen King did that
they didn't live. Well, okay, they probably lived in New England still anyway.
Yeah, it was on.
Sometimes Stephen King's stories do take place in other states, but you end up in Maine, or it starts in Maine and you go somewhere else, but you always end up back there. But yeah, those people were not from Florida.
Nope, definitely not.
I'm gonna figure that out.
We'll figure it out. So yeah, Bag of Bones, that was definitely a pass. Red Riding Hood.
A bag of poo.
Red Riding Hood. What did you think of that? Or was that your comment on Red Riding Hood?
Oh no.
Okay.
That was better.
Yeah.
But it was okay.
I liked it better than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think you liked it better than I did.
Yeah.
It's definitely a teenage girl flick, though.
Wait. That's
cute boys, cute girls, little romance,
Okay, wow. My man card has just been totally ripped up, I think. Yeah, I did say I liked it better than I thought. So
yes.
I was expecting, that's what I was expecting, something more akin to Twilight. I don't think
a little heavier.
This was heavier than that. It was definitely darker.
But no, I mean, it was good. It had, I really appreciated the look of the whole thing, the costumes, the set.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it
Gary Oldman's performance.
It was good.
Yeah.
But it was just, it felt a little slow in parts for me, and I'm not sure why, though it might be me lately, because everything we watch lately, to me, feels like it's slow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me. Maybe it is.
Maybe
I'm not being fair to the movies this week.
Well, you know what? I had that a couple of months ago or whatever. Other movies that we've talked to, I've felt like, hurry up and get to the show. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a phase. Yeah,
you went through a phase of hating credits.
Yeah.
You were like, what is with these credits? They're so slow. They're going on forever. Even if they weren't. I was like, wow, they were like 30 seconds long.
They all were, and you're wrong. But,
so it might be me lately. Nothing has really wowed me lately. Nothing's really been all that gripping. Probably Paranormal Activity 2 has been the one that's had my attention the best lately.
What did you think about Repo Man?
I liked it.
Okay.
But, again, it felt a little long.
Okay.
And somewhere in the center, it kind of started to stretch and drag a little bit.
Kind of meandered a little bit. And
again, I don't know if it was me. I love Jude Law. It was a great story.
I loved it. It's great seeing, you know how I am about friendship and whatever and stuff. I loved he and his buddy, though maybe they should have eloped together and, he wouldn't have been in the situation he was in.
No.
But no, it was...
They had the friendship, but they were definitely two very different people.
They definitely were, yeah. And I enjoyed that. It was another one that turned out to be a far better movie than I thought it was going to be. I don't know how bad I thought it was going to be, but...
I remember when it came out, and we're like, okay, we need to check that out, and we'll wait and see what people have to say about it. Mm-hmm. I heard nothing.
Yeah?
I was like, who saw this thing? Nobody had anything to say about it.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested in other people's opinions if anyone out there has seen it and they want to share.
Yeah, it was nothing, well, I was going to say it was nothing totally original, but I mean, I read William Gibson and stuff back in the day when it first came out, and cyberpunk was a new term and what have you, so, you know, and we've seen Repo the Genetic Opera, and
yes.
we've seen other movies that were similar to this, and I guess I don't want to talk too much more about other plot points, but
no,
it wasn't original per se, but it was enjoyable. It was fun.
Yeah.
So,
and it had, you know, there were a few little twists and turns and surprises, so that was good. That added something. I didn't think there was going to be anything like that in it. I thought it was going to be real straightforward. You know, action film, guy running for his life, so that's what I was prepared for. But I think it gave a little more than that. Okay, yeah, I do, and I was surprised and happy to see that, though it maybe did go 10 to 20 minutes too long for me. Okay, so, yeah, I agree. Yeah. But it's not, I wouldn't let that stop me from watching it again. Yeah. Now, here's another movie that everybody has complained went horribly wrong in too many directions at once. What did you think about Sucker Punch? Oh. I don't know. We just watched that one yesterday. Yeah. And I've still been kind of... You mulling it over? Or? Yeah, I have been. Again, a little slow because the shifting... I love the action sequences. Absolutely awesome. Those were awesome. Yeah. I would love to see a movie made out of every one of those action sequences. I want to see that world and what was going on there. I love guns, and I love tanks, and I love bombs, and grenades, and explosions, and fire, and gear, and metal stuff. I want all of that. But then as soon as it shifted back to the... You know, the more mundane dance hall, these girls play, and how are we going to get out of it? Like, it was just, I don't know. Yeah. It was maybe a little too, I don't know, the complaint you said other people had. Going in too many directions, I think you said. Trying to please too many people at one time was what I think I saw somebody saying. Yeah. So I think there you go. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm kind of interested in that when she first arrived at the... You know, the mental hospital. It was like, okay, because I didn't know a thing about it. I just knew the title, and I'd seen a couple images from it, and then I heard that everybody thought it was just awful. So when we sat down yesterday and you started it, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here's this thing everybody's been talking about. I honestly had no idea what to expect at all. Okay. And I was a little more, it piqued my interest. Anything that has to do with an insane asylum, I'm interested. Okay. But right away it shifts away from that because, of course, she goes into her own mind and she's, you know, living her life in her mind in a different way. And I didn't care for the set, like I didn't care for where it went. But then within that reality in her mind, then she would go off into the next one, and that was the one I wanted to spend more time in. Gotcha. The warring and the, oh my gosh, how cool were those steam-powered Nazis? Oh. And there was just so much cool stuff in there. There was a ton of cool stuff there. But I didn't want, all the other stuff had to go. You know, it's, when we talk about the movie being like this, the movie that springs to my mind, of course, is Brazil. Terry Gilliam's Brazil. Yeah. Another one where very interested, kind of interested in the world they're in, more interested in the fantasy world, and so on. But I mean, that serves its purpose and stuff. And this movie, I enjoyed it more. I thought this is one that I'd like to own just for those action sequences. Oh, no. See, I'd be like, okay, can we fast forward to the next one? Well, that's what I said. I'd own it for those action sequences. Don't they have, like, a cut-up version? A cut version of it, maybe. There has to be just a collection of shorts. And I enjoyed the music. So, yeah, just music videos of each of those segments would be fine. But worth a watch, I thought. Sucker Punch, I don't know that the title necessarily fits the story. I think I knew what they were going for with that title, but I guess so. It wasn't really a sucker punch. All these movies I knew what was going on. I guess they were sucker punching their victims. I guess each person that they needed something from. Yeah. they mesmerized them with her dancing, whatever that might have been. You never know.
Yeah.
But while they were suckering these people into, compliance so that they could take what they needed from them. But
True.
I don't know. The whole time I was trying to figure, why is this a sucker punch? I don't get it.
Okay. Well, 2 more movies to cover. And again, I mentioned earlier that everybody that I work with loves...
2 more?
2 more. Everybody I work with loves movies, which leads you to the dilemma of, with everybody having Netflix, they're quick to lend them out, and sometimes you wind up with more movies than you can watch a week.
Yeah, you need to quit bringing movies home.
I can't help it, though. They're good movies. Well, so far there have been good or okay movies, and there's tons. We've got more coming, so I wasn't going to mention that till later. But
well, we've got a lot of movies on our own list that we're trying to get through.
This is true. We've got 400 movies on our list. We don't need to watch 400 other people's movies.
That's right. When you come home every night from work and say, "Here's the movie we're watching tonight," and especially when it's something that's like, I don't know.
Well, the source code. What did you think of the source code?
The source code.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say I liked it okay, but it was, while you're thinking, that's okay, while you're thinking or collecting your thoughts, I liked it. I knew what was going on early on but you know what? I have that problem because I won't say I'm well read, but I read a variety of subjects or look at or explore a variety.
Oh, that was the one with Matt Damon.
No, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I mean Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal, or however you pronounce his name.
Don't try to spell it.
Yeah, that's how you're actually supposed to pronounce it. But anyhow.
I'm sorry, can we start over?
No. So the source code is the one.
It's not a good name.
7 minutes.
Movies don't have good names.
Well, the other one doesn't have a good name either. But
that's why I'm getting them mixed up.
We'll get to that in a second.
Dumb. That's the other. No, I know the name of the one with Matt Damon. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Matt Damon.
You absolutely did.
I meant to say Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, if you get the humorous mispronunciations of names, my boss at work called the movie that he was in with Heath Ledger Magic Mountain, so that's not the movie. Instead of Brokeback Mountain, she's calling it Magic Mountain.
That's a little more than a mispronunciation. That's all that's just a miss. I don't know. Magic Mountain.
Fail. Anyhow, source code.
Goodness.
7 minutes to redo.
Yes.
Time, to fix. Well, it's not time travel. They were very clear about that. Did I just slip up and give it away? I don't think so.
I don't think so because
I think
they explain it. They explain it right in the very beginning.
Okay.
We're sending you in. You have a job to do. You're going to work for us. You're going to get in there and you're going to get this information for us. Are you sure it was 7 minutes?
Maybe 8 minutes. I think it was 8 minutes.
I believe it was 8. See, I remember it way better than you do, even though I had no idea what you were talking about when you said the title.
Way better.
But yeah, it was. They explained it as just being almost like just being able to rewind a little piece of time.
Yeah.
So
learn information.
Yeah, it was just kind of this little overlapping bit, and that's all they had access to. It's not time travel at all.
Yeah. Well, it, like Mirrors 2, or rather Mirrors, it gave us a lot more fuel to talk about after the movie than maybe the movie was itself. Did I say that right? I think so. I liked the movie. I enjoyed it, but the subject matter was more entertaining than the movie.
Well,
it sounds like I didn't like it. That's not right either.
It was just okay for me. I can't say I didn't like it because it had my interest. And again, like I said, I don't know if it's me this week or if you're just like drowning me in movies and maybe my brain is starting to melt. I don't know, but what? Yeah, run out your ears. That's what it felt. Maybe. Yeah. Because again, there were moments where I wanted it to hurry up and do something. Mm-hmm. Because it was like Groundhog Day. He had to keep reliving this. He's on a train. There's a bomb on the train. The train explodes. Everybody's dead. He wakes back up. All right, we're putting you back in there. Figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. And you kept doing it over and over. And, of course, he tried to do something different each time and figure out what's going on. But at some point, I was like, okay, are we ever going to get to the end of this? Right. So there was some issues. There were some plot issues. if you're going to do sci-fi and if it's going to be any kind of time travel or any sort of quantum mechanics, or I know they can't really get in and give you the formulas and explain it perfectly because they want the general public to be able to enjoy it and not go, what?
Yeah.
But, hey, I sounded like I sounded like a minion just then. I did it perfect.
What?
What? I've been practicing all week and it just came out naturally. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm a little loopy. I didn't get much sleep last night. But anyway, I needed more explanation. I wanted more technical stuff. I wanted it to be more, I guess, like you said, cerebral. Because it kind of just fudged through some areas just to make the story work. And I don't like that. Right. It's annoying. Okay. But I get it. I know why they do that. So just as for what it was, I mean, it was pretty good, and it, you know. Yeah. What about? I don't understand the ending, and I mean, I understood it, but they didn't explain how it was possible, and I don't want to give anything away, but. But, you know, if you like sci-fi, and I mean, I'd still recommend it to some people for sure. Okay. What about that last movie with Matt Damon? What's the name of it? Oh, my gosh. Okay, don't tell me. It is called... I got to play Jeopardy music here. Wait, hold on. The Adjustment Bureau. Beautiful. Absolutely. Terrible name also. Well, you know, it comes from a P.K. Dick story. It's another one of Philip K. Dick's short story, I believe. And you know what? And for that, that's great. And I bet it's an awesome short story. I'm not so sure it translated well into a movie. Okay. Sorry. Well, don't have to apologize to me. I liked it. Well, I know you love P.K. Dick. I do. Not everything he wrote was gold, but a lot of it was. Yeah. This was good. It was a great premise for a story. I mean, it has to have been a great story, and it's a great premise for a movie. Would have made a good, well, I was going to say, we've almost did see it as a Twilight Zone episode, didn't we? Yeah. So, it might have been better as something like that. As something shorter, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little funky. It was a little funky for me. I enjoyed the acting in it, though. A good cast. Yes. Emily Blunt, Matt Damon. Yes. I liked Matt Damon in it. I loved his character. Yeah. I don't always love Matt Damon. And but he was the character he played in here. I really liked him. Yeah, I liked him a lot. Yeah, I agree, and I enjoyed the camaraderie between him and his friend, his political advisor. Yes. You know, and there was that kind of banter and those kind of lines, just them walking down the hallway and like, is this a weird conversation we're having? You know, just little things like that actually made the movie for me. But again, it did feel maybe a little bit long. Yeah, and, it was. For the subject matter or maybe for the writing. Maybe if it had been written more cleverly, we wouldn't have noticed the lag in it. Yeah. Wow, you know what? That makes it sound like it was written bad, but it wasn't. It just missed a little something. I think it wasn't enough to fill up a whole movie, so it was just stretched a little bit. Yeah. Instead of putting more, I don't know, more stuff. Whatever stuff is. More stuff in there. You know, just stuff. Yeah. More action, more fun stuff, more, I don't know, fill in the gaps with something. Yeah. But it makes it sound like it's not worth seeing. Worth seeing if you got nothing else to do for however long it was. What? If you have nothing else to do. If you're going to sit there and stare at a wall, you may as well watch this. You might as well watch this. I think it was a little better than that, but I don't know. I don't think I could sit through it again. And I did have problems with the story. Yeah, it was 106 minutes, so... Yeah, that's not bad, actually. Maybe Dark City would be a better one to watch if you wanted... I don't know. Yeah, do you have any other... Would that be a suitable replacement? I don't know. No, probably not, because Dark City's got something else going on with it, and a completely different sci-fi, but similar-ish. I don't know. This was sort of... Yeah, I don't know. I wanted this to be more like Fringe, because Fringe is awesome. You know, they had these guys walking around in hats that look like the Watchers from Fringe, or the Observers, but these guys in this movie, they actually kind of controlled like, forget fate because there's a plan. There's somebody upstairs writing each person's plan.
Right.
And it's these guys' job to intervene and get in your life and steer you in the direction they need you to go so that you can fulfill your plan.
Right.
So that was a little annoying.
I love the fact that on their little maps of people's lives, when something was going to go wrong or change, the little chaos symbol popped up, like on my tattoo.
Yeah. And their little books were actually the coolest part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
That and Matt Damon's character, because I really did like him a lot.
Okay.
And I liked her.
Yeah.
I liked, because they, of course, the movie in a nutshell is they meet randomly, or is it randomly? You don't know. You have to wait and find out. But they fall in love and they're meant to be together, and chance and all these things keep bringing them together no matter how hard the Bureau works to keep these two separated. They keep finding each other again. So it's absolutely a love story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
That is pretty much it.
I think we've just said the whole entire, and just, you'd have to watch it to see if they end up together or not, I guess.
Okay. Well,
But they have whoever is upstairs writing this plan. I found that interesting, because God, aliens, what's going on? You don't find out. You don't know.
Yeah.
So you have to just kind of decide for yourself what you think's going on. I would like to know P.K. Dick's take on it, or what maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll research that and see what he was thinking when he wrote it.
Cool.
Now, I think it would be more interesting as literature. I don't think it worked great as a movie.
Okay. I could see that. I could see why you would say
that's all I can say about it. But yeah, the books were awesome.
People coming together, based on a plan, based on fate and stuff. That reminds me, we still got to get together and do that thing for the Ball and Chain podcast, because I was going to say, keeping in mind how we met.
Yeah.
Separated, and met again.
Yes.
I did have an appreciation for that watching the Adjustment Bureau for sure.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we'll get into that.
I like stories that have to do with chance or fate or things that were meant to be.
Yeah.
Luck or, making one decision and causing this ripple effect that's going to affect all these things differently now. All of those things really interest me. So that movie had just enough of that where, it kept my interest and it had me going, but it was a lot smaller of a story than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Movie-wise. Big movie, Matt Damon, small story.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
It wasn't epic.
Okay. Well, this podcast is quickly becoming epic, so we're going to need
of episode 102, the epic something. I don't know.
The episode?
Last episode.
I don't know. We're maybe starting to lose it here.
I don't think this coffee's working.
Maybe not. At any rate, thanks for tuning in, folks. Sorry it's taken us so long. I hope we're not putting you off for losing a ton of listeners because of this inconsistency. But as always, look for us on lapodcasters.com. Look for us on, I've got to update the website. I got to get us back up on bagend.com. Yeah. Let me get off of here and do something. Look for us on Facebook, Vicis Interimo, VICISINTERIMO. Friend me, S. Michael Jones on there. Had a couple other people join us on Skype. We're everywhere. So just plug in Mad Saxon and see what you get. MADSAXXON. Google me. That's it. Twitter me. I don't know. Whatever. Thanks for listening. Any final comments?
I don't think so.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks.
Technology, knowledge, these things mean nothing. But I'm here, friends, to tell you today that there is only one Lord of this world, and his name, friends, is Great Cthulhu. And someday, brothers and sisters, when the stars are right, Great Cthulhu is coming home.
Requested me to call you back for a postscript, was it?
Yes. Because about, 3 episodes ago? 4 episodes?
2 or 3 episodes ago. I don't know.
Well, we we're going to talk about in our Garbage In, Garbage Out, and even featured a picture of it in our artwork that week, Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black.
Yes.
And then we went the whole podcast, and we did not talk about it and posted the photo anyway.
Yep.
And then we said, oh, we're so sorry we forgot. We'll talk about it next time. And then we didn't.
We've had 2 podcasts since then, yeah.
At least.
Nope, just 2, because I'm looking at it right now. We talked about this back on December 4th.
I guess all these weeks we're missing, too. It feels like, wow, we saw Gulliver's Travels so long ago. So what'd you think of it? And today's the perfect day to add it to this episode because we just talked about Emily Blunt being in...
the Adjustment Bureau.
The Adjustment Bureau.
Yes.
And she, of course, was also in Gulliver's Travels.
Yes, she was. Delightful, little ditzy in Gulliver's Travels, but delightful in the Adjustment Bureau. I enjoyed Gulliver's Travels. A little what? I don't know.
You know what? It is a great family movie. I think it's PG.
Yeah.
It doesn't have 13, so there's not a lot of... There's some little naughty, crude things.
There's some crude stuff, but...
It's very grade school, though.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say no worse than Strange Brew. Putting out fires, you know.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, you know, you need water quickly.
Yeah.
I forgot about that scene. But yes, it's PG, and I do think it's good for family, and it was fun, and Jack Black is always entertaining.
Yeah.
If you don't like him and he's annoying, then I wouldn't recommend it.
And stuff, and so.
Yeah. He's pretty much... but yeah, it was cute, though.
Yeah.
You know, he starts out where he's all... you know, he doesn't have any confidence, and he's working in the mailroom for a big company, and...
enjoyable special effects. Some of them are obviously CG, but tough. How do you do it? And
I think they did a great job with the special effects.
They did do a good job with it.
I mean, they were like, came up to his ankle. They were tiny. And
yeah. So, fun. I was talking about the Lilliputian builders. What great builders they were. They could build anything.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Yes, because they talk him into staying, and he's like, well, where am I going to let, you know, I need an apartment, I need a house, I need all this stuff. And they're like, yes, we could build anything, and we're fast, too.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden he has this awesome house, full size, with everything.
Yeah.
And they built it all by hand, like in a day or two or something.
Amazing. They're a little bit like the dozers.
Yeah. We need some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So I definitely, I think adults could enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I think so.
There's some funny stuff.
So is that the end for the PS?
Yeah, we better, yeah.
Oh.
So yes, postscript over.
Oh.
Yay, we talked about Gulliver's Travels.
We finally got it out of the way. All right.
Sorry, cool. Jack Black.
All right.
Are you going to put the picture again in this
I'll put the
artwork?
picture again and say, this time for real.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, man, you're going to have some crowded artwork.
You know it.
Ugh.
All right. Thanks for listening.
All right.